Hello world, welcome to my Packet Tracer Video Journal 01. This example, I will be completing the Packet Tracer Skills Integration Challenge 1.3.1.3. In this particular example, partial configurations have been set on certain devices. Our focus will be on a switch with a hostname CNT-SW and a router called Central with a hostname Central. We also configure an end-user PC named netadmin. I enter the showrun command to get a basic understanding of the partial configurations on each device. So we're instructed to configure remote management access, including IP addressing and SSH capability. I begin the configuration by entering global configuration mode. From global configuration mode, I enter the command IP domain-name cisco.com. The exercise instructs us to encrypt the privileged executive mode password. I enter the enable secret Cisco npass command to achieve this. For SSH capability, we will need a username and a password. I enter the command user hqadmin password Cisco class. I entered the command crypto key generate RSA with a module value of 1024. By default, Cisco iOS in this particular exercise activates SSH version 1.99. We're instructed to configure the switch to use SSH version 2. I enter the command IP SSH version 2. Here I take advantage of the tab completion feature in global configuration mode. We were asked to limit to 2 authentication attempts and a 60-second timeout. This is achieved by entering the IP SSH authentication-retries 2 command, followed by the IP SSH time-out 60. To configure a default gateway, I enter the command IP default-gateway 172.16.15.9 in global configuration mode. We're instructed to encrypt plain text passwords. I enter the service password -encryption command. Next, I enter the virtual teletype channel line configuration mode, and by entering the command line VTY015. In line configuration mode, I enter the command login local, followed by the transport input SSH command to disable telnet. Directly from line configuration mode, I enter the command VLAN15, followed by the command name servers, followed by the command VLAN30, followed by the command name PCs. Followed by the command VLAN45, followed by the command name native. Followed by the command VLAN60, followed by the command name management. I enter the exit command to drop back into global configuration mode. I enter the command interface VLAN60. I enter the command IP address 172.16.15.10 255.255.255.248. and I enter the no shutdown command. We're instructed to disable all other unused ports. I enter the command interface range fast Ethernet 0/1-24, gigabit Ethernet 0/2. Next, I enter the shutdown command to disable the interface. You can see from the output text from the CLI that we have disabled the interfaces. The exercise instructs us to configure fast Ethernet ports as access ports. I enter the command interface range fast Ethernet 0/11-20. In interface range configuration mode, I enter the command switch port mode access, followed by the switch port access VLAN 15 command. I enter the no shutdown command. I enter the command interface range fast Ethernet 0/1-10. This is legal, however, you have to type commands in their entirety. Enter the switch port mode access command, followed by the switch port access VLAN 30 command. I enter the no shutdown command. We're asked to configure trunking. I enter the command interface gigabit Ethernet 0/1, followed by the switch port mode trunk command, followed by the switch port trunk native VLAN 45 command. And finally, I enter the no shutdown command. I use the exit command to drop back into global configuration mode, and I entered the command interface fast Ethernet 0/1. Enter the switch port port-security command. We are instructed to allow two MAC addresses that are automatically added to the configuration file when detected. The port should not be disabled, but a syslog message should be captured if a violation occurs. I enter the command switch port-security maximum 2. Enter the command switch port-security sticky, followed by the switch port-security violation restrict command. This particular packet tracer exercise allows you to see what commands you have entered correctly and what commands still need to be entered. I open the CLI of the central router and begin my configuration. I enter global configuration mode and enter the command interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0.15, followed by the encapsulation.1q15 command, followed by the IP address 172.16.15.17, 255.255.255.240 command. I enter the command interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0.30, followed by the encapsulation.1q30 command, followed by the IP address 172.16.15.33, 255.255.255.224 command. I enter the command interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0.45, followed by the command encapsulation.1q45 native. Followed by the IP address 172.16.15.1, 255.255.255.248. I enter the command gigabit Ethernet 0/0.60. I enter the command encapsulation.1q60, followed by the IP address 172.16.15.9, 255.255.255.248 command. I use the exit command to drop back into global configuration mode. And from global configuration mode, I enter the command interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0. I enter the no shutdown command. The output text in the CLI gives me information about the up status of the sub-interfaces. We are instructed to configure the central router as a DHCP server. In this particular example, the IP DHCP excluded dash address command is not used in the configuration. The exercise instructs us to configure a DHCP pool named LAN. To achieve this, I enter the IP DHCP pool LAN command, followed by the network 172.16.15.32, 255.255.255.224 command in DHCP configuration mode, followed by the default router 172.16.15.33 command. The exercise instructs us to implement routing protocols on the router. The exercise instructs us to configure dynamic routing protocols as well as a default static route. I enter the router rip command from DHCP configuration mode, followed by the version 2 command in router configuration mode. I enter the network 172.16.15.0 command. In this particular exercise, we're asked to not send routing updates through certain interfaces. From router configuration mode, I entered the command passive-interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0.15, followed by the command passive-interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0.30, followed by the command passive-interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0.45, followed by the command passive-interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0.60, followed by the command passive-interface serial 0/1/0. I use the exit command to drop back into global configuration mode to enter the command IP route 0.0.0.0, 0.0.0.0, serial 0/1/0 in global configuration mode. In this particular exercise, we're asked to configure both static and dynamic NAT. To begin the NAT configuration, I create a standard ACL. I enter the command access-list1 permit 172.16.15.0 0.0.0.255. I configure a static network address translation to the file server by entering the command ipnat inside source static 172.16.15.18 209.165.200.227. In this particular exercise, I use the name markK's nat_pool for the name of the Nat Pool. To create the Nat Pool, I enter the command ipnatpool markK's_pool 209.165.200.225, 209.165.200.226, net mask 255.255.255.252. I associate the ACL with the Nat Pool by using the ipnat inside source list 1 pool markK's nat_pool overload in global configuration mode. I enter the command interface serial 0/0/0, followed by the ipnat inside command. I enter the serial 0/0/1 command, followed by the ipnat inside command. I enter the command interface serial 0/1/0, followed by the ipnat outside command. I enter the command gigabit Ethernet 0/0.15, followed by the ipnat inside command. I enter the gigabit Ethernet 0/0.30 command, followed by the ipnat inside command. I verify that I've satisfied the requirements of the exercise by clicking on the Check Results button in the Procedure window. green check marks show that the configuration commands were correct. The last step of the exercise is to configure DHCP on the end user net admin. I configure the end user net admin to retrieve its IP address using the DHCP protocol. I click on the DHCP radio button and the IP address field populates with an IP address from our DHCP pool on our central router that is configured as a DHCP server. In this particular packet tracer exercise, we're asked to do verification of our configuration. All devices should now be able to ping all other devices. We need to verify remote access to the CNT-SW switch by using SSH from a PC. I use the username and password that I configured earlier in the exercise to create a SSH session with the CNT-SW switch. I use the show run and the show IP route commands to verify the configuration. I open the web browser on the end user to test access to the file server and the web server.